Welcome to the deep dive, getting ready for parenthood. Huge congrats. We're diving into those first few weeks with your newborn using 21 essential newborn baby tips for first-time parents. Grab your coffee, you'll need it, and let's get started.
This goes way beyond just diapers and onesies. It's about really getting your newborn and building that connection, that secure attachment.
I love that. Building a secure attachment feels way more than just, getting through those first weeks, right?
Totally. And you'll see newborns basically eat, sleep, and poop. But even in that, there's so much more going on.
So let's break it down. The article says 16 to 18 hours of sleep a day, but just little bits at a time. Feeding every 2-3 hours, even at night. That's normal.
Yeah, exactly. And those feedings aren't just about a full tummy. It's about their temperature, their blood sugar. Plus, all that cuddling releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, for both of you.
Amazing. It's like nature's way of bonding you two. The article talks about watching your baby's cues, too. Even, for breastfeeding, you want to feed them before they even cry.
Right. Crying means they've been hungry for a while. But if you see rooting, sucking on their hands, little lip-smacking sounds, feeding goes so much smoother.
It's like learning their secret baby language.
Yeah, you got it. And it's not just feeding. It's everything. Diaper changes, soothing. The article even talks about baby states, like how alert they are.
Oh, I've heard that term, but never really got it. Can you explain those baby states? What should we be looking for?
It's like a spectrum. Deep sleep, totally relaxed. Then lighter sleep, you might see fluttering eyelids, little twitches.
Oh, those are so cute.
Right. Then as they wake up more, eyes open wider, they move more on purpose, might start cooing, making eye contact. If you see these changes, you can meet their needs before they totally lose it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And when they do have a meltdown, the article mentions stroking, talking softly, humming.
Oh, great. Gentle touch, like stroking their back or skin to skin, helps their nervous system. Soft singing or humming, it's like the sounds they heard before they were born. Comforting. And sometimes just a change of scene, walk around the house, or a warm bath.
Speaking of, the article says only 2 to 3 baths a week. I thought it was every day.
Not really. Too many baths dry out their skin. Just keep the diaper area clean with lots of changes.
Oh yeah, diaper changes. Get ready for a marathon. The article says 8 to 12 changes a day. At least their little bums are cute. But seriously, that many?
It's super important, especially those first weeks. Prevents diaper rash. Think about it. You wouldn't want to sit in a wet diaper either.
Good point. Speaking of, the article's got a whole list of diaper bag must-haves. Diapers, wipes, rash cream, everything.
Here's a pro tip. 1 diaper for every 2 hours you're out, plus a few extra, just in case. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Better safe than sorry. It also says change wet diapers every 2 to 3 hours, fragrance-free cream, especially at night.
For sure. Fragrance-free won't irritate their skin. And those nighttime changes, quick and quiet as possible, so everyone can go back to sleep.
Okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here. Is any sleep even possible with a newborn needing so much?
Feels like a juggling act at first. But their needs are simple. They need to feel safe, loved, and fed. You get to know them, their cues, and find a rhythm that works for both of you.
That's good to hear. The article also says to start a routine early, like 2 to 4 months old. Is that even possible?
It might seem strange, but having some predictability, even if it's not a strict schedule, helps them sleep better. It doesn't have to be rigid, but like a consistent bedtime routine can help a lot.
So what would a routine look like for a brand new baby? It mentions a sample schedule, 14 to 17 hours of sleep. Is that real?
They do sleep a lot, but remember, it's in bits and pieces. That sample schedule is a starting point. You adjust it to your baby. The key is doing things consistently. Predictable feeding times, wake times, nap times, helps them get into a natural rhythm.
This is fascinating. I'm already feeling better about those first few weeks. But gotta be honest, the sleep deprivation worries me. Any tips on getting some shut-eye for baby and for me?
Sleep,
Like,
right.
yes.
That's the big one for new parents. It's amazing how much their environment affects how well they sleep.
Perfect timing, because the article talks about setting up the nursery. Is there a connection there?
Absolutely. Think about it. They've been in this warm, dark, quiet place for 9 months. Then suddenly, bam, bright lights, noises, temperature changes.
It's like sensory overload for them.
Exactly. So if the nursery feels more like the womb, it can really help them adjust and sleep better.
Okay, I'm interested. What kind of design tips does the article have for making it sleep-friendly?
Calming colors. Soft greens, blues, or even neutral tones creates a peaceful feeling. Natural materials, too, like wood and cotton, Adds to that calming vibe.
So more like a spa than a bright, colorful playroom.
Exactly. And lighting is huge. Soft, warm lights at night, blackout curtains during the day. That helps regulate their natural sleep-wake cycle.
Blackout curtains, never thought of that for a baby. But it makes total sense.
And white noise. A fan or a white noise machine mimics those womb sounds, keeps them feeling safe.
I've heard that can work wonders for fussy babies. The article also mentions safe sleep practices. That's got to be top priority for any parent.
Absolutely. Always put them on their back to sleep in a crib or bassinet that meets safety standards. And no loose blankets, pillows, toys in the crib.
So a minimalist, clutter-free space.
Exactly. And make sure the room temperature is comfortable, not too hot, not too cold.
Now, what about room sharing versus the baby having their own room? So many different opinions out there.
It's up to you, but the article mentions the American Academy of Pediatrics. They recommend room sharing for at least the first 6 months, but with separate sleep surfaces.
So babies in their own safe spot, but in the same room as the parents.
Right. It's good for bonding, makes nighttime feedings and check-ins easier, and everyone's still sleeping safely.
Makes sense. So we talked about the nursery, routines, sleep, but what about just everyday life? How do you get anything done with a newborn needing so much attention?
The juggling act. The article's got some great tips, starting with baby wearing.
Tell me more about that. I've seen the carriers, but not sure how it all works.
Honestly, it's a lifesaver. Baby's close and happy, and your hands are free.
Like having an extra set of hands or a built-in cuddle buddy.
Right. It recommends a good quality carrier, ergonomic, supports both of you. Practice putting it on, adjusting it at home before you go out.
So cooking, cleaning, errands, all with baby strapped on.
You got it. Walks, even hikes. Great for bonding and getting things done.
That's awesome. Any other tips the article has for making those early days easier?
Accepting help. Family, friends. Don't be afraid to ask for help with meals, laundry, even just holding the baby so you can shower or nap.
Self-care, right. So important, especially when you're exhausted.
Totally. And this might sound obvious, but embrace those early days at home. Pajamas, snuggles on the couch, limit visitors for the first few weeks. It's okay.
Sounds perfect to me. What about when you do need to go out with the baby? Any advice?
Get comfortable using the stroller. Practice at home first, and always think about safety.
Safety first, always. So, big takeaway for managing daily life with a newborn.
Finding that balance, taking care of baby and taking care of yourself. It's okay to ask for help. Enjoy those quiet moments at home. Take care of yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Great advice. We've covered a lot. Understanding your baby, setting up the nursery, routines, and getting things done while still taking care of yourself. But there's still a lot to learn, especially about those first few weeks after the baby's born.
Yeah, postpartum. It's a lot, emotionally and physically. Big highs and lows. The article had some good stuff for those first few weeks.
It's easy to get so focused on the baby you forget about yourself. What does it say about those early challenges?
Well, first thing, listen to your body. Rest, rest, rest. Those first weeks are for healing. Ask for help with chores, cooking, anything, even just holding the baby so you can nap.
Sleep is definitely hard to come by then. What about all the aches and pains after childbirth? Any advice for dealing with those?
Actually, it mentions recommendations from ACOG, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. For pain, they say heating pad, over-the-counter pain meds if your doctor says it's okay, and sitz baths.
Sitz baths, those can be amazing. What about the emotional side? The article mentions the baby blues, but how do you know if it's more serious than that?
It's normal to feel all sorts of things after giving birth. Happy, excited, anxious, sad even. Hormones are going crazy, so those mood swings happen. Baby blues usually peak around day 4 or 5, then get better within a couple of weeks.
So if it lasts longer or gets worse, you need to get help.
Absolutely. Talk to someone, your partner, a friend, your doctor. They can help you through it. And if it turns into something more serious like postpartum depression, there are treatments for that.
It's so important to remember you're not alone. There's help out there, and it's strong to ask for it. Okay, besides taking care of yourself, what about actually taking care of the baby? Those first diaper changes, baths, can be kind of scary.
It's definitely a learning curve. The article says focus on those basic skills: umbilical cord care, bathing, feeding, and knowing when something's wrong.
What are some warning signs health-wise for a newborn?
Jaundice is common. Skin and eyes look yellowish. Usually harmless, goes away on its own. But you got to watch it closely.
So any yellowing, call the doctor.
Exactly. They'll check it out and tell you what to do. Feeding problems can happen too, early on. You're both still figuring it out.
What are some signs the baby might be having trouble?
It says to watch for things like not enough wet or dirty diapers, crying a lot, not gaining enough weight. If you see any of that, talk to a lactation consultant or your pediatrician.
Sounds like those doctor visits are super important those first weeks.
Oh, definitely. Your pediatrician is your go-to for anything and everything baby-related. Ask questions, tell them what you're worried about, even if you just need some reassurance.
What about the umbilical cord? Any tips for keeping it clean?
Keep it clean and dry. Don't get it wet in the bath until it falls off, usually in a week or two. Article says clean it gently with a cotton swab and water. And watch out for any signs of infection, like redness, swelling, or pus.
So again, anything weird, call the doctor right away.
Yep. Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the article talks about visitors that first week. It's tough, wanting to share those first moments, but also needing rest and time to bond as a family.
Yeah, I can imagine it gets overwhelming. You're exhausted, trying to adjust to everything, and then people are constantly coming over.
Exactly. It says to set boundaries, tell people what you need. It's okay to say no to visits or ask people to come later when you're more settled.
Good advice. What about when you just need extra help or someone to talk to?
Postpartum doula. They can help with practical stuff, emotional support those first weeks, breastfeeding, light chores, or just listening to you vent.
That's amazing. Wow, we covered a lot today. Newborn basics, setting up the nursery, those first week challenges. I'm feeling a lot more ready for this whole parenting thing.
Me too. And don't forget, routines are good, but being flexible and responsive is just as important. Every baby's different. Their needs will change all the time. Trust your gut. You've got this.
Trust your gut. That's so true. And get ready for all those adorable little smiles. Makes it all worth it.
It does. It's an amazing journey. Challenging, but the rewards are incredible.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll be back next week with more insights into the world of parenting. Until then, enjoy those newborn cuddles.